Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalie, a Carolina homeschooler. Today I want to do a curriculum walkthrough with you guys of Masterbooks America's Story Book 1. We are using this book for our 4th graders and our 7th grader this year. So let me turn the camera around and we'll walk through it. All right, so here we have the set of America's Story Book 1. You have the teacher's guide, and then you have the student textbook here. I'm going to walk through the textbook first, and then we'll take a look at the teacher's guide. So this is America's Story 1 by Angela Odell. And the table of contents, it runs through who was here first, Leif Erikson, Christopher Columbus, and goes down through the Great Journey West, Alamo, and Our Place in History. So that's what this book covers. There's actually 3 books that talk about America's story. So this is just book 1. The thing I love about this curriculum is there's a bunch of things. First off, the pictures are fantastic. It's so brightly colored. You know, as you can see this picture here, it's in color. It's not just some old-fashioned photo of a photo kind of thing. It's just, and I'll show you later some other pictures, but they're just so brightly colored. They're amazing. They really grab the kids' attention, and they're fun to look at too. The next thing I love about this is they're shorter chapters, so it's not just a ton of reading. And she also tells it like a story, which for some of my kids, that's great. Some of my other kids, they just like to read and can dig into that just by reading. But some of my other kids are like, I need pictures, I need a story, I need something else to look at or for it to be entertaining. So I will show you, this is the first lesson. So you have on the top, you have a timeline. There's usually a map or, a couple pictures on each page. This would be a vocab word. Then you have the story, and it tells you when to stop. So in the planning section of the book, which I think is in the teacher's guide, it tells you how many pages to read, and here you'll look for the narration break, and then you can talk with your students about what you've read, what they've learned, and that sort of thing, and just, a couple pictures there. And then the next day you'll do the same thing. So you'll pick up reading here, you can look at the captions and pictures and things, and then you'll stop. And that's typically what we do. That covers 2 days. So you'll read this page on the first day, discuss it, and then you'll read this on the second day and discuss it. There's these bright colored maps. I love these, and they explain it so well. Just really neat to look at. This is talking about, the first homes and things like that, and what they were made of, and just really detailed pictures. Really fantastic. The kids really like looking at that. And then at the end, you'll have a culture connection and some pictures there as well. And then you'll have some thoughts to remember. So just some digging deeper, if my camera would focus, just some digging deeper. What did we learn? Just some other questions you can ask your kids. And then it goes on, to the next chapter that you'll do the following week. So, like I said, there's tons of pictures. This one is about Columbus, life on the ship. We just did one of the Boston Tea Party, if I can find it. Oh, wait, I think it's back here. And there's the picture of macaroni and cheese. I don't know, it was really cool. I really want to find it because it's so... It kind of makes you hungry for it. But anyways, it's just really, really colorful. And like I said, there's a timeline that's included, and it's very informative, and she does a great job of explaining it so well. Oh, maybe it's back here. Oh yeah, here it is. Here's the mac and cheese. Just saying that Thomas Jefferson helped popularize macaroni and cheese in America, and even designed his own pasta machine, among other inventions. So we thought that was pretty cool. So just, they have modern day pictures, and they have, some old black and white photos and things like that. But the author just does a really, really great job of bringing history to life and making it interesting, not only for the parents to read or the child to read, but for everybody to listen to follow along with and things like that. So that is the textbook. That's what that looks like. I'll show you what the teacher guide looks like. This is where all of their workbooks, I suppose you can buy this for each student and they can just write their answers in this, because that's all it is their workbook pages. But I just make copies. So here in the beginning is a little note to the author and how to get started, and creating a timeline if you want to. We're doing that this year. I haven't done timelines in the past, but this one seems simple and easy and really fun, and there's some great pictures to help remind you of what that lesson was about. So I think we're going to stick with that this year. So that was really good. Let's see. Oh, here's the schedule here. So it's really laid out really nice. It goes by the week, what each day of the week, and then what you have to do for that day. Typically it starts, we just do 5 days a week. So we'll read the first 2 days, we'll do the drawing the second day, and then the mapping the third day or the fourth day, and then the timeline page and review and things like that. So there's that for the entire year. This book does not have actual tests and quizzes. So if you're wanting or needing any tests, you kind of have to come up with them on your own. They do have some review pages and review activities in the back, but there aren't any set times where they say, oh, this is, a chapter test or a unit test or things like that. There aren't any in this book. So that's the one thing I'm not crazy about, but I've just come up with my own and it doesn't take too much time. So there's some neat little maps in the beginning. It's the United States and this is a world map. So you can print extra copies of that. And so this will go through. It'll just give you a little note to the parents, if there's something in there that, like when they get to the slavery chapter, there's a little note in there about kind of what to talk about or how to talk about it with your kids and that sort of thing. And then there's the materials that you're going to need for that particular week. They'll have some narration questions and then some digging deeper questions. I use this for my 7th grader, not necessarily so much for my 4th graders, but I use this for my 7th grader. And then I use this as well. They'll also have a little narration section. I use this for my 7th grader. So he does more writing than my younger ones do. And then this would be done on, for us, Wednesday. So this will be the 3rd day. After we've read the whole chapter in 2 days, we'll come here. And in the first couple lessons, I think, it's just little drawing things, very simple. She teaches you how to do it with the different steps, and then you draw your teepee, and that's what hers looks like. And then she'll have a question down here. On the next page, this sometimes varies, but there's usually questions or some copy work on this page. And then you can tell, it might be draw your favorite house that you saw in the picture in the textbook, or draw something you learned from the chapter, that sort of thing. It kind of changes. Then there's map work, which we typically do on Thursdays. It's mostly find this on a globe or an atlas and then have some sort of mapping here, label these different countries or continents, things like that. And then this is kind of cool. This is word collectors. Each chapter has a key word in it. So you'll write that down on the first space. And then if there's any other words in the chapter that the children don't understand, they can write this down and then you can look them up, or you can, write them down here, use them in a sentence, write them 5 times each, whatever you want to do. But I thought that was pretty cool to try to, pull out the vocab words and get them looking at the text and trying to find them to do the vocab. And then this is something, we do the timeline project with my 4th graders. And sometimes, depending on what the question is, sometimes my 4th graders will answer this orally. Sometimes they'll write it down. It just depends on how in-depth it is and all that. But that's just one final question. What did you learn? What was life like? What do you remember? If you were Christopher Columbus, write a letter to your crew or something like that. And so there's usually one last activity. And then this is the final one. There's a timeline manipulative, and that's what we use to put the pictures on a little timeline. And I can show you those too. So that's pretty much what it does. Here's the next chapter. It's the same kind of concept. I'll flip back a little more. So here's Life in the Colonies, chapter 7. So this one you had to draw a map. She drew a map of her house, and you have to kind of draw a map of your house. And then you have to label the 13 colonies here. And then, like I said, there's some more, a little question, and there's your word collectors there, and then the timeline. And then in the back of the book, there's the answer keys to all that. These are the, I'll show you these. These are the review sheets. They aren't necessarily with one specific chapter. It covers a bunch of different chapters. So you kind of have to make sure that your students have done all those chapters before you go and have them do these different activities. But there's crossword puzzles, word searches, that sort of thing. This one was really good. Which William was it? William Penn or William, who's the other one? Wilberforce. That one was pretty cool. So you can take some of these, and I guess you can make them into a test, you know, using some of these answers and stuff. But they don't, like I said, they don't have formal tests. And then they have different activities here, and these are the answer keys, you know, to all the questions and stuff. And then I think here, this is where they have all the little cutout pieces for your timeline. So you just cut out these little rectangles, and then we just paste them on a poster board. I have each kid color them, you know, each week they switch, so there's no fighting and arguing, but and then they just color them and we just stick them on. And then that's how we also review, is we go back and say, okay, what was this picture? Oh, that's Christopher Columbus, or that's Leif Erikson. Oh, what did he do? And it really does trigger their memory of that particular topic. There's also some different map adventures here that you can do some mapping with. Just some different ideas. There's also different ideas here for reviewing the chapter and things like that. So they do offer suggestions, but like I said, they don't have any formal quizzes or tests or unit or chapter tests, that sort of thing. You kind of have to make up your own. So that is America's Story 1 in a nutshell. Like I said, it comes with 2 books. It comes with the teacher's guide, and it comes with the textbook. So you can buy a couple extra of these if you have more students, or you can just make copies, I guess, if you need to do that. So if you want to see more reviews like this, hit the like and subscribe button and the little bell to get all my notifications. That would be great. That'd really help me and my channel out. I appreciate that. And if you have any comments, leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you. What did you think of this? Do you have any other questions that maybe I can answer? Just let me know. That's it for now. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Have a great day.